So Greg, we're
What
here.
up?
Looks like we have the same mom. They shop at the same store.
I mean, awesome.com,
Uh,
clothing supply.
Actually, you know what? I might be speaking a little bit ahead of things here, but when you were out here a couple of weeks ago, um, we a couple of months ago actually.
A couple months ago, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like weeks ago because I talked to you so much. But you actually inspired a conversation that allowed us to actually start looking at really having that apparel swag store that has awesome. Not that Red X is trying to get into clothing, but just know people love us, and I guess we shop at the same store.
Dude, I've got to get that hat, man. You're rocking. I got to
You
get
like
me
this
one of
one?
those.
You like
I
this
want. I like that thing. I got to get one of those.
one? I like
Um,
yours.
dude, I'm being serious. I mean, when I was out there, I'm like, why are you guys not rocking your gear hardcore? I mean, you should be making boxers, shorts, swim shorts, t-shirts, muscle tees, beanies.
Shot glasses and koozies, holders for your beers and.
Oh, dude. Well, check this out. This was given to me by one of the followers of my podcast, Nikki Alapor, and it's a coaster and has my podcast, Real Estate Uncensored, right there. And dude, this thing's made out of granite. I have 4 of them. I use them every day. Every day.
Well, I think that's a good way to start the show right now because there's a lot of people who watch your show. There's a lot of people who are Red X customers, but there's also people who are not. And so this is really a special edition of our live prospecting show that we're doing right now with Greg McDaniels. And so, hi, my name is Justin Zimmerman, and I am on the marketing and content team here at the Red X. And I just represent a small, I'm just one person who represents a large number, dozens and dozens of people here at Red X who work every day to understand how to make prospecting easier, better, and faster for you. And so one of the ways we're going to show you how to get the results that are really available to anybody is to show you how Greg McDaniel, who's been prospecting for how many years, Greg? A decade? 2 decades?
Been an agent for 19 years. Started hardcore prospecting when I had just gotten into the business because I was such a screw up that my dad wouldn't let me near any of the clients. So I started door knocking 5 days a week, 6 to 7 hours a day. I would do 100 to 150 doors a day. Did that for a year straight. And then when I literally wore holes in the bottom of my shoes, and I had rainwater fill my shoes up one day walking up a hill, and I called my dad. I'm like, that's it, man. I'm done. This is BS. He giggled at me, brought me in, and I started dialing by hand because I couldn't afford a dialer. And then when I could afford a dialer, I bought my first dialer, and then I've been using a triple line dialer ever since. And it has revolutionized my ability to contact more people in a shorter amount of time and leverage my hour or 2 hours on a ridiculous basis. I've talked to multiple different agents, and they're saying, well, Greg, I'm not getting the same amount of calls in that you're doing. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, I'm just dialing by hand, or I have a single line dialer. I'm like, found your problem. So get the triple line, stop being yourself, and let's start making some phone calls. And this one gal fought me on it. I'm like, look, if you're not going to do what I tell you to do, don't call me again. She called me back the next day. She's like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Like, I did the triple line and I got 3 times more work done. I'm like, funny how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. And you guys are legit. I've used other dialers in the past, but your customer support, the varieties of different services that you offer, the call recording and training that you guys offer for clients to come in and get a pep talk and kind of work through the kinks before they go out is just legendary. So good stuff all the way around.
Yeah, thanks for saying all those nice things, Greg. And I just want to make sure everybody watching this, whether you're already a customer or considering Red X, that this is not a commercial. This is a demonstration for you to understand what's possible, both as you currently use our product or what you're considering. And so we may talk about the products, but really what matters most is like people who believe in the philosophy of prospecting as a vehicle to their success. And so I don't know anybody more consistent in 2 ways than Greg. Way number 1 is he shows up every day and he prospects. 2, he also has his own show and podcast he does, Real Estate Uncensored, where he shows up every day and talks about these things as well. And so when it comes to badges of honor, this guy's got many of them. And so I know what honor it was to have his presence and time and availability demonstrate how he processes using REDX. Just a couple of more ground, I don't want to call them ground rules, a little bit of just say housekeeping items here is feel free to ask questions as we move along. I've got, we call him Andrew I.O. in the background. If you're a Joe Rogan podcast fan, he's our Jamie. And so he's behind there looking things up, fielding questions. We got Haley, who's also on the team. She writes a lot of the newsletter content you guys get and see. And they're behind the scenes working with me. I got another screen right here. They're going to type me messages. And so if something comes up, you have a question for Greg, you'd like to get that in, use the chat on whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook. We'll or on our live prospecting page, and we'll get those questions. Now, any questions that don't get answered, Greg has generously offered his time, so you can direct message him after the fact if we don't get to your question in the time we have available today. And so if you just look Greg up on Facebook, just type Greg McDaniel, singular, not plural, not Jack Daniel, McDaniel. And you'll see his big smiley chiseled man face right there looking at you. And he'll be happy to take any DMs from you. And so let's see. One last thing also, we have resources that we have procured for this, curated for specifically today's show, all related to expireds. And so both during and after, Andrew's done a great job, Andrew I.O., of putting those in the show notes. He'll share them in the links. And so you'll see access to blog posts, scripts, videos, and trainings all about expireds. That way, you'll have not just this moment right now to watch and rewind, but further offerings and trainings to dive deeper, produced by the wonderful REDX content team. So I think I've got everything covered here. Greg, is there anything you want to throw in before we get the show totally rocking and rolling?
No, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a different script that most people probably haven't heard before. It's going to be going at an investor side and kind of show people how the different side of this script will get people kind of knocked off their feet a little bit. Now I am learning this script. I'm almost perfected it, but I will stumble. I will stutter. You guys will hear me say, I'm not going to be smooth and clean. Those are built into my script. Okay. So don't think that I'm just a bumbling idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. This is something I've learned over 19 years. What I'm doing with that part of the script is I'm making them feel more comfortable, not like a slick salesman who's reading off a script. It makes them sound like, hey, I'm just a normal guy, just like you. I'm doing some calls. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really kind of nervous, just trying to build my business. And a lot of people don't understand that when they watch me do my Beers and Calls show every Monday through Thursday at 4:30 Pacific. And they're like, dude, why are you stammering and stumbling along? I'm like, that's built into the script. I want to do that. So just know that. And then let's go crush some heads and go get some leads. You ready?
Awesome. Yeah, I got one thing to add, and I think that's one of the things I love about watching you prospect is that you relieve the pressure and tension on the agent who wants to do this work but is afraid they have to be perfect. And I think you demonstrate perfectly imperfection in this way. And so, yeah, being personal and normal and human, I think, just takes the edge off and lets also the other person on the other end of the phone call know that you're just a human. And so really listen and watch to how Greg's nuances and tone, because I think this is a good opportunity to, like, people who are resistant to scripts, to see how you can pick a script, but also kind of just make it your own in a real, just natural human way. So Greg, thanks for sharing that and letting me throw that in before you hit go.
No problem, man. And you're not going to see me do the same script over and over. You're going to see me do different variations of the script. The reason why, I just don't care. I'd rather just kind of go with the flow, whatever feels natural. I let it out, but I do stick to a backbone of the script. If you guys don't like it, well, sorry, that's the way I do it. And I've been doing this for longer than most of you have been in the business ×2. So it's I learned from someone who's been in the business for 47 years, my dad. And this is how he made it. He made millions of dollars in real estate by just being real, being honest, being transparent, and being relatable. That's the most important thing. You'll see me go hard left on conversations. That's me making rapport with folks. And then I'll bring it back and we'll keep going down questions and we'll just see how it goes. So
let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, guys. So this is what we're looking at. We're doing expireds today. I have 470 leads in the REDX system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it up right now. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see who I want to be calling. I'm going to take out the do not calls. I'm going to take out the mobile numbers. I'm going to call everybody with no dispositions. So anyone that I've called before who left voice messages or no answers, I'm going to skip through them. So scrubbing out the system to stay compliant with the do not call list. I have 129 people I'm going to be calling with 183 numbers. So that should keep us busy. I'm going to be dialing 3 lines. Okay, go here, make sure I verify all my information here. So go to my scroll wheel, and you'll see I'm not going to have any music. I'm going to have a bell that's going to chime in my ear. I've turned my ringtones off so it doesn't, overpower this call. So the line, when it's silent, it's going to be dialing 3 lines at one time. And quickly to explain how those lines work, if you guys have never seen these before, the 3 lines will dial simultaneously. Now, what happens if line 1 gets picked up or a voicemail takes place, the other 2 lines are going to continue to dial. If I get someone on line 1 and I start talking, line 2 picks up and it goes to a voicemail, it'll automatically play my voicemail into it. In line 3, if it goes through the 5 rings that I have, this line will go dead and stay dead. Once this message is left, this line will go dead. And once I'm done talking to line 1, this line will go dead. If there was no callback messages sent out, then all 3 lines will refire up and we'll start again. So that's how the triple line works. It's a genius little device, and it will crush on our numbers. So without ado, let us get going. How's that sound? All right, we're hitting our start button. It's going to call my cell phone here.
Press 1 to continue.
All right, my handy dandy little device here so you guys can hear what I'm doing. And we're going. Now 3 lines are rolling out right now. And if you guys got questions, log them in. I want to make sure that you guys have a consistent, I keep you guys entertained and informed.
Can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Where did I just reach?
No.
No, did I reach a business or did I reach a house?
I'm so sorry. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, toodaloo.
Okay.
Useless. Resume. Now the system's rolling through that again. I deleted the number because obviously it was a bad line. And sometimes you will reach people with language barrier issues. Hello? Hate that. All right, so we're going to mark that as a bad number. We're just going to trash it. We're going to keep moving forward. And so now we're running with 1 line here on this with this lead, and we're going to see what they get. We're calling into Walnut Creek. This property expired. When did it expire? It expired on the 6th of May. They were on for $1,350,000. And it's I know this neighborhood, very nice neighborhood. Let's see. Oh yeah, great house, $1,329,000. Okay, no answer there. So we're gonna redial, keep moving. This is a priority call back. So this is the one that we talked about. They got the hello, I can't hear you. And let's see. And we have a bunch of numbers here, only one of which is a DNC. And I actually called one of the other numbers on this list and gave them a voice message. So hopefully we'll get somebody. Now, when you do stay compliant with the DNC list, there are a limited number of homes people you can call, but I have found to the fact that DNC numbers are absolutely hello. And they hung up on me. So we're gonna go with no answer and keep on moving. Hello.
Thank you for calling. You will now be connected to the person you dialed.
Well, thank you very much for that. Kind of wanted to do that, but first. Well, this is my jam. Elevator music when you're making calls.
Thank you for calling. Line went straight to the answering machine. Would you like to leave a message?
Sure. Who did I reach?
You have called someone who uses sign language to communicate. I'll be the interpreter for the call.
Oh, I must have
went straight to the answer.
You know what? I think I misdialed. My deepest apologies. I must have had a fat finger Friday.
Oh, no worries. You have a nice day.
And you as well. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And so you're going
Thank you for calling Synergy Global Housing.
Yep, not calling them. And then we are dialing at an interesting time of the day at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. excuse me. So it really be dependent upon like how many people we can get. A lot of people are at work paying for these houses that they live in. I generally try to call between. Hello.
Hello. We are not available now.
Drop message. So this time let's see, guys. We've made 6 calls, 4 leads, 1 voicemail. And like I said, I generally make calls starting between 4 and 4:30 and go to about 6:30 p.m. I found that going up to about 6:30 is not a negative in most marketplaces. So, oh, hello. Hi, my name is Greg. I'm looking for the owners of 912 Belmont Way, Pinole. Did I reach the right number?
Not me.
Not you. Did you ever live there by chance? Just out of curiosity?
No, but I was on that list before for a different property in El Sobrante.
Oh, over in El Sobrante. Okay, well, hey, what I'll do is I'll take you off the list, and I appreciate your time. Have a great Friday.
Thank you. Do you know where the list comes from? I'd like to call them and tell them to take my number off because you're like the 10th person that's called me.
You know what? There's about 1,000 different companies, and what they do is they go through and they scrape the MLS and they pull all numbers that were associated with properties that were on the market, and then they sell those lists. And so, like, if you catch one, there's going to be 20 others behind you.
Okay. No problem.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for your time. Have a great day, okay?
You're welcome. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Now, what I did not lie to that young woman.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
I purely explained to her there's multiple different services that scrape the MLS, and there are. So if someone says, "Where'd you get my number?" Just tell them, I got it from a system that scrapes the MLS, and there's a ton of them out there, and I'll put you on my personal do not call list right now, and I'm sorry you won't hear my charming voice anymore, but I can't promise anything from anyone else. And they'll get a giggle out of it, and you guys will then part as friends, then delete their number, be the person of your word. And they just go like that. What I found is a lot of the times when it comes to people, when it comes to prospecting, the biggest thing that stops them is the fear of rejection. Someone yelling at you, right? Like, oh man, this phone call thing doesn't work. No, you don't work. Let's be very clear about this. And if you're going to go out there and you're going to be doing dials, you have to do it consistently, and you have to be persistent at it. Guys, I call every single freaking day. Dude, just the other day, I called this house, right? And,
hello. No one is available to take.
Oh, no shit, no one's home. That's why I'm talking to you, answering machine. But I called this guy, right? And he had this house, and it was the son that answered. And he's like, "Yeah, man, we're trying to sell it." I'm like, "Oh, cool, dude. Are you still thinking about selling?" He's like, "Yeah." But I reached out to like 2 or 3. Hello?
Hello, we are not available now.
I reached out to like 2 or 3 real estate agents, and I called and see if they wanted to come over and see my house and see if they wanted to sell it. I'm like, "Oh, how'd that work out?" "Oh, they never called me back to reschedule. They never showed up." I'm like, "You've got to be shitting me." And he's like, "No, man, we just want to sell it. My parents they're old. They're like 50. I'm like, "Oh, how dare you? 50 years old. I mean, Justin, I'm 40 and a half. But it's one of those things that, I mean, it's a 1.2 to 1.5 million dollar home. I sent him a text right after the call. We're going to set up a time. I'm going to come over and I'm going to list that bitch. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm taking that thing home in the bag. I'm going to hunt it. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to take it home and skin it. That's it. Because all the rest of the agents dropped the ball. It's serendipitous. Hello?
Press 1 to speak with a live professional.
Oh, I would love to. Thank you, you sexy lady. No. Not going to talk to you. You creep me out. And so about a running average of about 250 outbound reaches is what our running average is until you get either a hot lead or someone who is going to do a follow-up, right? And as long as you can sit down, if you can sit down and make 250, at least this isn't my area, okay? So your averages may be different. I want you to take a look at your numbers, but first you need to know your numbers so you know how to do this, right? But ours is about 250. And then, so if I know, because when I was doing calls every single day, my average was 500 to 750 calls every day, 5 days a week. My highest was 1,131 phone calls in one day. I went home and watched paint dry because my head hurt so bad. But on the running average of doing that, think about that. If I do 500 calls a day, right? That is on average 2 prospects, leads, or suspects a day times 280. Let's just do that. So 280 times 2, that's 560 potentials. Let's see, divided by, what do you want to do? Divided by, so you could probably have about 11 deals in that just from doing these calls 1 hour a day, or for a couple hours a day or more, depending on how good your closure rate is, what your turnover rate is, and a few other things. I don't know. It's just, there's so many variations and varieties here. Update, guys, we have stormed through some numbers. Gotta press resume. Whoops. 32 phone calls, 23 homes, 5 voicemails. So what is this telling us about this time of day? What this is telling us is the fact that maybe right now, since this is the middle of the day, it's a Friday, this might not be the most opportune time to do this.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Because like I said, they are home. Several years ago, I was doing calls, like I told you, all through the day, and I could have about a 30% connection rate, give or take. Hello?
Max Auto. Hello.
Oh, hey, Mark. My name is Greg.
No, this is Max. Hello.
Oh, Max.
This is not Mark. This is Max Auto Repair. What can I do for you?
Auto repair. It's a business. Oops, Max. I'm sorry, man. I dialed the wrong number.
That's okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. Max Auto Repair. I thought it was Mark Auto Repair. You get more business at this. Hello?
Denise? Can't take your call.
Now, a lot of people ask, should I leave a voice message? And what I have found is
Forwarded to a voice message.
Absolutely 100% hard yes on the voice message. And people say, well, why?
To ensure the highest quality service, this call may be monitored and recorded.
Hell no. And I leave the messages because if you don't leave a message, it's like you were never there.
Hello, and please listen carefully as our menu options may...
Resume. Come on, baby. Hello?
Hey, this is David.
Hey, David. My name is Greg. I'm looking for the owners of 512 West 20th Street in Antioch. Did I dial the right number?
No, sir. You got the total wrong number.
Totally wrong. Did you ever live in the house by chance, just so I can check against my list?
No, never lived in that address.
Oh, hey, man. I'm sorry. I must have got my wires crossed. I hope you have a great Friday, okay?
You do seem
Bye-bye. Okay, so we're doing resume. I'm getting a call back on my own line right now, so it's probably someone calling me back who saw a missed call. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, my name is Greg. I'm looking for the owners of 2154 Verona Avenue. Did I dial the right number?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Why are you calling?
Oh, real estate, nothing big. I'm a real estate investor. I'm calling from my office, and we actually record the calls here. And it looks like you guys were on the market in the beginning of the year. Is that correct? Or last year?
Yeah, but we're not interested. We're not interested in no.
You guys,
okay, but thank you for your call.
No problem.
We're not interested in selling.
Okay. Well, hey.
Thank you.
No problem. Bye-bye. Okay, so I don't want to redial. Oh, okay. Okay, not interested. So unfortunately, I was not able to ask her a question because there's a reason why I didn't push on her, because she 2 or 3 times she's not interested, and you know what? She made it clear.
Hello.
Oh,
this
hi.
Is Aaron speaking.
Hi, Aaron. My name is Greg. I'm looking for the owner of 2516 John's Way. Did I dial the right number?
Yes, this is me.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect, Aaron. Like I said, my name is Greg. I'm a real estate investor in the area, and I call from my office where we record the calls. And I'm calling around because it looks like you had your home for sale last year. Is that correct?
Yeah, but they didn't put it back. We changed our mind right away.
Right
I
away.
mean, there was misunderstanding, but yeah. But the guy, I told him, the agent, to show it like I don't know, but like you guys have been, there were like multiple people like were calling us companies
Right.
if our house is for sale. But it's been, I don't know. It shows that, but there's totally no plan to sell it.
Currently, no plans. Okay. You mentioned that there was a misunderstanding. Just out of curiosity, I mean, did something change in life? Because I am looking to buy a property.
Well, I mean, we were gonna sell the house. We thought we you know, the realtor or the agent, he's kind of related with us, and we told him, you know, we were gonna move to Brentwood.
Okay.
So, and but the market, it's like it went up so crazy that, you know, we couldn't, you know, be qualified. So we said, you know, let's hold on with the house, and we change our plan.
Change your plans. You know,
yeah.
If we could find a way to get you to Brentwood, would you take a look at it? I work with some top-notch lenders that have got some creative stuff.
Not this year. Not this year. I'm working on my taxes and stuff.
Oh yeah, taxes.
No, not this year. Maybe like by next February. That's it. You know, like on 2020 maybe. Yeah.
2020. Maybe
that's
September.
Our plan. That's our goal. Yeah, but. Yeah.
Is that just because you're working on taxes, or is there something else keeping you in the house? And the only reason I ask is that the interest rates are just ridiculously low right now, and that's the only reason I'm asking.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, because I like on 2018, I for like some emergency issues that I'm a self-employed.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been taking off a lot. I've been traveling for the emergency situation, so
okay.
I didn't make that much money, and my income is way low.
Gotcha.
So this year things are okay. I'm on it. Probably, you know, I might be qualified for, you know, for more money. I mean, you know, the bank. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, that makes total sense, Aaron. What kind of business are you in? I know a lot of people. Maybe I can, you know, help you grow your business a little bit.
Well, I have a limo company.
Really?
I work with corporates and hotels. Yeah, I do wine tour and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. What's the name of your limo company? I'll write it down and keep it in and kind of keep my eyes open for anyone who might be.
It's absolutely. It's called Alpha Executive Car Service.
Outside
Alpha, like Alpha Omega.
Oh, Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha Executive Car Service, and my email is as it is Alpha Executive SF, like.
Okay, so it's Alpha Executed. So Alpha Executed at okay. Oh, okay. I'll add. Okay. Well, yeah, you know what, Aaron, would it be okay if I stayed in contact with you? And you know, because it's always important to stay up with people, and I'll send you a couple of emails a month about real estate, and you know, if anything changes, let me know. We know what, Aaron, I got a great idea for you. I got a great idea. So I have a database of about 14,000 agents. I mean, not agents. What am I talking about? 14,000 homeowners here in the area. And I'm looking for local businesses to highlight in videos that I send out once a month or twice a month out to my database. Would you be interested if I can get together with you? I can come out to you. We can shoot a video in front of your limo, kind of do free promotion, and then we'll push it. And then I have a team of editors that will edit the video, and then it will shoot it back. I can give you a copy of it for your database, and then I'll push it out to my 14,000 people. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can fix a time. Like I can bring the you know, couple drivers with me. My drivers, because I have about 4 cars. So.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, let's get together, man. That'd be awesome. And then we can shoot a video and have some fun with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Exactly, right?
That would be a good idea then. Yeah. So let's head up. Let's keep in touch. Yeah, I already gave you my email. You can shoot me whatever update you got, and we can go from there.
Perfect, Aaron. Hey, man, I really appreciate your time today. I look forward to meeting with you in person. And if there's anything I can do for you between now and then, this is my cell. You can reach me on this, but then I'll send an email out to you later today. We'll book a time.
All right. Well, what was your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Greg McDaniel.
Greg.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg. All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Aaron.
Greg.
Have a great day. You too.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. I'll do.
Boom, bitches. That's how you get shit done. All right. So let's break down that call really quickly. What happened here? I got into the call. Now, he was obviously skeptical of me because who am I? I'm some weirdo giving him a call randomly, right? He said he didn't want to, he wasn't going to sell. Most people would hang up and go away from there like, oh, okay, well, thanks for asking. Sorry to hear that. Or you'll stick to some dumbass, script, which sounds scripted. And I just said, hey, in my scripting, my verbiage there was very much like, well, help me understand what's going on. Out of curiosity, why are you not thinking about selling? And Aaron opened up to me and he told me what was going on. And then I was curious about him, genuinely curious about him. I said, what kind of service do you have? I have a limo company. Boom. Perfect. That's going to be a perfect thing I can shoot a video about. I can help him grow his business. He's going to bring out 2 or 3 of his drivers now. We're going to shoot like 3 or 4 of his vehicles. We're going to make this guy look like a mother blanket pimp. All right. And it's going to cost him 0. It's going to cost me 0. He's going to win. He's going to get an audio video file he can push out to his database. I'm going to do the same thing out to my 14,000 agents. We're going to also maybe he and I will put maybe 15, 20 bucks together a day for the next 7 or 10 days. And we'll push it out to social media and all the different channels and build a video around it. There's a lot of ways to build referrals. Now, also, here's the other upside with this. Aaron is around a lot of people in these limos, right? If I do him a solid and I say, hey, bro, like, I really enjoyed meeting you. I can't wait to work with you. Hey, could I be your preferred real estate agent to anyone that you guys meet in the limos, or if I can be a part of your website, or maybe we can do some sort of ongoing work together, therefore bringing more value, because he's going to get in touch with people that there's absolutely no way that I could ever be in touch with. And if he gives me, it's called the angel effect. If he gives me a solid review after someone has a great time with them, like there was a trust or his family or his friends or his relatives or anyone around him, and they see me helping him get back on his feet because they know that he's going through some sort of emergency or hard times, the law of reciprocity, man, just rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls.
Yeah, Greg, before clicking over to the next call, I think this is like a solid example. And you see it all the time in kind of like, I would almost say lip service. It's like real estate agents always talk about like wanting to provide value, offer service, right? But like, what are really like the implementations behind that? What does that really look like? How do you differentiate yourself as an agent? And so when I see, agents always talk about, I love to help. I think that's like, why do you like real estate? Because I love to help. Well, it's either I love to help or I love to make money, or both. But a lot of times you see people say, I love to help. And so this is one of those examples that kind of no one would ever really know or think about, but totally fits into that mantra. And so we've also got a couple of questions coming in here. I'd love to throw out to you right now.
Sure, you broke up. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions to throw out to you right now. We got a couple of people asking, why do you ever turn wrong numbers? This is Andrew, not Andrew IO on our team, but Andrew in the, I guess, the YouTube world. Do you ever turn wrong numbers into contacts by asking them if you can help them with anything else? And I think you just kind of demonstrated that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You can take wrong numbers and you can say, hey man, my apologies. I'm a real estate agent. I'm just doing some outbound, aggressive prospecting. Do you own a home, or are you looking to buy a home this year out of curiosity? And ask them that and go right from there. You can also do the same thing for renters. If they say, hey, no, I'm not the owner, I'm just a renter. And I'll just turn around and be like, oh, fantastic. This is an amazing time to buy. The interest rates are super low if you consider buying anytime in the near future. So you're going to miss 1,000% of the question, the questions you don't ask. So just ask it. I mean, the worst thing they say is no. You're like, okay, cool, man. Just wanted to ask you. I wouldn't be a good agent if I didn't. Have a great day. God bless. Peace out. Something like that.
Awesome. And then we've got 2 other questions that are very similar, not to this question, but similar to one another. I'm thinking this guy is on YouTube. His name's Paul. And then we have another, I guess, Lawrence and Paul are asking some similar questions. And so one of them is, why call as an investor with an investor script? And let me tie it to this other one here. And then Lawrence says, when he identifies himself as a broker, he receives many hangups. He wants to find a way to push past or get past and have an actual conversations. Any thoughts as to a successful strategy I can use? So I imagine the identification of who you are and the script are tied together. And so if you could just spend a little bit more time on that, because I'm not sure everyone saw the beginning of today's broadcast. And so we'll just kind of bring up the speed. One, the script you're using, why you're identifying as a broker, and then two, other ways to make the conversation and strategy.
Okay, you broke up a little bit there, but I think I know what you're asking. So the reason why I identify myself as an investor, and I actually, if you guys want to learn more about the script that I'm using, you go to smartrealestatecoach.com. I work with a guy named Chris Prefontaine and his son-in-law Zach Beach and their family team there, and I work with them. And I bought into their investor organization, and it's the whole thing of like, when you get in and you try to bring value, real estate agents sometimes are perceived as bloodsuckers, bottom feeders, and they just want a commission. My script is like, hey, look, I want to help you guys invest. I want to buy a house in the area, and that kind of, and about 99% of the time, they're not going to take my offer because I buy it on terms, like a lease, a lease purchase or something like that. So a lot of them don't want that, but it gets the conversation started. And then you can ask them, oh, okay, well, can you help me understand why that wouldn't work? And they'll explain it to you. Then you say, well, I'm also a licensed real estate agent. I was calling with my investor hat on, but I would also talk to you about what my team or I or whatever what we can do to help you list our homes. This is our track record. This is our blah. This is our broker's track record, blah, whatever you want to build up your script at that point. It's just a different hit. It's a different way of just getting the conversation started. That's why I do it. And it's been very successful. I am not perfect at it at all. I screw up and I do it differently every time. And Zach yells at me for doing that, but it is getting better conversations going. So hopefully that answered the questions. I can't hear you whatsoever.
Sorry about that. I was saying that we'll answer more as they come in if there are any more related to that.
Okay, great. Let's
keep dialing.
Let's get back to dialing. All right, so that I got to mark this out. Okay, so that is a good number. Yes, absolute contact. And we are going to do a callback. Let's do an afternoon. Let's set this thing for, we're on 10. I'm going to call him literally on Monday the 13th. Like I'm not waiting around. That was the 22 number. I'm going to call on this number. Call and set time to shoot video. Okay, obviously a video. Okay, apply. It has now been marked as a callback, and we're off and rolling. Yeah.
Benefits, financial planning, risk analysis, and business consulting. Our mission.
Thank you for calling Texan Financial Group. How may I direct your call?
You know what? I think I dialed the wrong number. My apologies.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. I do not want to talk to a Texas Financial Group. Okay, so we're dialing one line on this one. Kind of see what we're doing here. And this is the unseen, unsexy, sometimes unfun part of real estate, but it is a necessary part of real estate. I mean, you need to be doing some sort of prospecting. If you're new in the business or getting back in the business or established in the business, but you want to go to the next level, find a way of prospecting that will work for you. Calls has been something that I have found that are incredibly time effective. And if you do it at the right times, they're incredibly efficient. But no matter what you do, networking, doors, calls, social media, mailers, hopefully using all of those, right? In coordination and concert with each other. But whatever it is, do not believe the bullshit out there that's, oh yeah, you send one mailing and you're going to get like a listing. No, man, that's not how it's going to go. I do one day of calls and I can get like 10 buyers. No, man, that's not how it goes. You got to be doing this stuff on a consistent basis and be willing to get beat down at times on these calls, because there'll be days you walk away and just lick your wounds. Like 2 days ago, dude, I got my ass handed to me on the calls, right? And I did not want to go back. Like I got an agent calling me. She was yelling at me. Why are you calling my listing? I'm like, look, chick, I didn't mean to. Shit, it's an honest mistake. Back off. Go find something else, dude. Go find a hobby. Go pet a cat or something. Stop yelling at me. And then the next day, I picked up the phone, did like 20 calls, and I got the listing appointment for 1.2 to 1.5. But I wouldn't have gotten that call and that lead if I didn't pick up the phone. Okay. This is not a personal attack when they don't want to work with you. They just don't want your service. Okay. That's the misunderstanding about this. People get so butthurt for the fact of like, oh, someone said no to me. Well, pucker up, buttercup. This is not a thing against you. This is straight up.
You have reached the voicemail box of
This is just straight up business, and it's prospecting. Why do they call it farming or prospecting? Because it takes time to cultivate, a crop that you can then harvest. That's what it is.
Greg, if I could throw some stuff in there.
Please.
Okay. Yeah. As you know, I've been focused on principles of consistency a whole lot in my personal life and listening to lots of podcasts about it. And I can't help to hear the crossover tie-in to real estate and prospecting. And I was listening to Jim Collins, author of Good to Great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where did I reach?
Okay, construction.
Oh, construction. Shoot, man. I'm sorry. I think I dialed the wrong number. My apologies.
Hey, I do it all the time.
So I'm in good company. All right, perfect.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
Have a
Have a
good.
nice day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See, I made a rapport with someone. We laughed about something. We parted on good terms.
Emotion was there for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Go ahead,
there was like time. He was talking about sleep and like on a day.
Hey, Mike. I'm sorry. Did I reach a business or a home? I'm sorry.
No, my name is Alan, and this is the Conquer Monarchy.
Oh yeah, I definitely dialed the wrong number, Alex. My apologies, man. You have a good day. Bye. Conquer Monarchy.
I'll keep throwing in words until we get the whole story out here. But it's like prospecting, sleep, running, food, everything kind of has its cycle. And if you look at things on a day-by-day basis, you're just going to be frustrated and give up. And there's like natural cycles to like success. And so he was talking about, for instance, sleep is on a 10-day cycle. It doesn't really matter how much you get on a day-by-day basis, but there's a cumulative effect is what he talks about. And so I'm looking at these things in my life. Where are the cumulative effects, minimum effective doses of prospecting or sleep or running or exercise or nutrition, right? And so if you're judging things on a one-time basis, and you're not giving yourself the chance or opportunity to get to the gold.
You're never going to do it. It's like going to the gym one day and expecting to come out thin and rich the next day. Not going to happen. I mean, anyone who sees anybody who's successful and they're like, man, that person's got it so easy, man, everything just comes to them. No, you didn't see the hours and months and years of grueling work those people went through. And when people say, well, gosh, Greg, you just do it so easily. I've just never done it. I've done over 450,000 calls myself. Okay. I've done my 10,000 hours of perfection on this thing. It's not like I woke up, rich and handsome one day.
Hello, Butcher Farm.
Hey, did I reach a business or a residence?
This is Poochum for a business, a pet grooming business.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I think I dialed the wrong number. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
All righty.
Well, if you have a pet, you're more than welcome to come in.
I do, but they clean themselves. They're cats. So,
Oh.
but if I hear of any dog lovers, I'll send them your direction.
Well, if they start scratching up your sofas, I could always trim their nails and put soft claws on them.
If they start scratching up my furniture, I'm going to take them down to the taxidermist. So
Okay.
they're not.
Hilarious.
Okay, you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
No, I'd never actually hurt my cats.
You should get that lady to work for your brokerage. That lady just upsold you. She did to you what you're trying to do to other people.
I know, dude. She nailed that.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you got a pet? Bring them in.
You have cats? We'll do their nails.
Hello. Hello. Ooh, no. When it rings, I hang up.
Thank you
for all Americans.
I do not have an emergency right now, Mr. Locksmith, but thank you for making yourself available to me. It is very, very nice of you. And this is it, guys. I just sit here like a lot of people will say like, oh my God, calls are epically boring. Like they make my head hurt when I call. I'm like, yeah, sometimes they do. So guess what I do? I listen to music. I play on Facebook, Pinterest. Hello? Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Greg. I'm looking for the owners of 1520 Sukyu Drive in Walnut Creek. Did I dial the right number? Did I even say that right?
Yes.
Hey, man.
Yes.
I'm an investor, and I'm calling from my office today where we record the calls. And it looks like you guys were on the market last year for sale. Is that correct?
Yes. I don't think the price is what we expected, so we pulled it out of the market. And right now we decided not to sell. We will stay on.
Sure. Out of curiosity, what kind of price were you guys looking for when you had it on the market?
Over $1 million.
Over $1 million. So if we could get it over $1 million
but now
bucks.
The sale of the house is a process. We decided we don't want to go through the process again, so we decided not to sell.
Okay, so you don't want to have people, trump your house and everything else. And the reason I'm calling, I'm actually looking to buy a property myself here in the area. That's why I'm calling. You know what? Do you have a few minutes? I can ask you a couple of questions and see if this might be a home I want to buy.
No, but we're not going to sell
anyway. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, hey.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Greg, we got an important question when you get.
I can't hear you. There's nothing I can really do to someone who's just not going to sell. People always they want to paint a person into a corner. Good number, not selling. Paint someone into a corner and be like, oh, well, if I can wordsmith you into a meeting,
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
maybe I'll get a deal out of it. You can never push a seller out of their home. You can draw them out, but you can't push them out. The very big distinction. No matter how great you are in scripting, if their want, need, or desire is not to leave that property, you will. Hello. You will not get the desired result, and you could possibly taint your reputation by being that jackalope that's trying to push people out of a property. I mean, help them, don't push them out of things. And I think there's a big distinction there.
Yeah, those are some really good points that you make there. And first, thanks for keeping this mostly PG-13, Greg. And then I got two questions from Connie, I think, on YouTube, which one of the questions is, she says, I don't see you research the properties before you call them. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, because that takes entirely too long. I'm not an S or a C personality, so doing the research would drive me up the wall. I'd rather live fire it and see what goes.
Hi, it's Allie.
Oh, hi, Allie?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Allie, my name is Greg. I am looking for the owner of 156 with Carnell Lane in Discovery Bay. Did I dial the right number? Or did I dial?
We sold that house already.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's fantastic. When did you guys sell it?
In August, I believe it was.
Obviously of last year, naturally. Okay, perfect. Well, then I'll update my list.
Are you a realtor?
I'm an investor and a realtor. Yeah, I wear both hats, but today I was calling with my investor hat today.
Yeah, I'm a realtor also, and I sold it in August.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing. Did you guys get the price you're looking for?
We actually owned another property, and we just moved into that.
Oh, well, that's great news.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, Ellie. Have a great day, and I'll update my list right now, okay?
Thanks so much. You too.
Okay, doke. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so previously sold. Okay, so that one's going to be off.
Hello, and thank you for calling. For locksmith, please press 1. For garage door.
So to continue that question of why I don't research the properties.
You have reached your local garage doors repair company. To speak to a live representative, please press 0. We do not accept.
You don't accept incoming calls. Hello.
Thank you for calling Exavolt.
Okay, we seem to be getting a lot of businesses on this one property in San Pablo. And the reason I don't investigate the lists or the properties is because with the REDX system here, it gives me all the pertinent information about when it expired, when it was listed, who the agent was. I can go to the Zillow link, look up the current value. I can go to the mapping. I can look up where it's located. Based on that information, I can build rapport and ask questions. And when I'm trying to call through properties, it's just not feasible to sit there and research every single property. I mean, it's just not. My way of operating is I would much rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. And some people don't operate that same way, and that's cool. I get it. But it's much easier, like that agent. I mean, that could have gone sideways fast. But all I did is she's like, "Oh, you're an agent?" I told her I was, and she said she was. I congratulated her on her sale. Rock and roll. Best of luck. See you later. Right? People get afraid of having another agent pick up on the other line. Why? You know, one of my things, if an agent tries to punk you, well, I'm an agent. Why are you calling me? My response to them is, you are fantastic. Do you have anything coming up? Because I got buyers that are looking, man. You got anything that's not on the market yet? Punk those fools right back. Because if they're trying to be rude, and you're like, great, dude, I got clients. Let's do a deal. Hello?
Hello, this is Vinny.
Hey, Vinny. My name's Greg. I'm looking for the owner of 79 Else. Oh gosh, I'm never gonna pronounce that.
Live Terrace. Yeah, that's me.
Cool, Vinny. Hey man, I am calling from my office. We actually record the calls here for training, and I'm calling around because it looks like you guys had that property on the market last year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you guys still planning on selling that property or not?
Yeah, if you have a buyer, I'll sell it, but I'm not interested in listing.
Not interested in listing. Okay, I'm actually I'm looking to. Is it a lot, or is it a piece of or is it a house?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. The houses there are $2 million.
Okay, so it's just a pure lot. And what's your square feet on that lot? Can't find.
It's a 0.6 acres.
0.6 acres.
So
Is it?
I think 26,000. I think
26,000. Now, is it a flat building pad or is it on a hill?
No, it's on an upslope.
It's on a slope, so it's going to take some engineering to get that one squared away. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Vinny, you had a number for 425 last year. Is that still a number that you would part with the property at?
Yeah, if it's all cash, I could go down to 399. I think that's what I put it on Zillow's now. I think it's still there on Zillow's.
Is it on the lots and land, or is it on the Make Me Move section?
No, it's under land.
Under land. Okay. Do you have any estimated costs on what it might cost to get that property built out?
Yeah, so I think it would be. So I think the way it would be, so 400 would be for the lot, and I think it would be like $1 million to build, like a regular house. And I think the new houses would sell there between 2 and 2.5, depending on how you build it, because all the houses there are like nearly 60 years old. So
Right.
So most of the houses there are in bad shape. So any new houses over there, or the ones that are like torn down and remodeled, they go for 2 to 2.5.
2.5. All right. Interesting. Well, you know what, Vinny? I know you don't want to list it. Have you ever considered maybe doing something off market? I have a radio show that I on every Sunday morning on KGO. You ever listen to KGO?
Mm-hmm. KGO, is that? That's Channel 7, right?
Well, that used to be. What it is, we're the most powerful radio station in the area. We've got a 50,000 watt, amp behind us, and we got about 50,000 listeners or so every Sunday. Would you mind if I was to talk about the lot on air and see if anyone's interested in talking about it, and I can be your filter system, and if people are interested, they can come and call me, and then go walk the lot and see if they're interested, and then if they are, we can come talk with you.
I don't know. I mean, are you a realtor?
I'm a realtor and I'm an investor, both of them. I was calling with my investor hat today, but I don't have. I'm looking for houses, not lots. But there's a lot of people looking to buy lots.
Yeah. Even I was thinking I didn't have the time. I mean, I had couple of people from this Lyft, Uber, this new money.
Yeah.
Because it's like just 20-30 minutes from San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
So I had like a couple of some people emailing.
Interesting.
So I've been talking to a few people. I think from the IPO people.
Oh, the Uber and all those guys.
I mean, Uber is just today, but I think the Lyft and then a couple of other of these guys are just texting me about it.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know if I don't want too many. It's like a residential. I don't know if you've been there, but it's a quiet residential neighborhood, so I don't want everybody there to get pissed at me.
Oh yeah, no, we wouldn't do that.
A whole bunch of people driving there. It's like a very quiet, up in the hills.
Yeah, no, it would
Yeah.
do. I would talk about it on the radio show, and then if they were interested, I'd say, hey, call me directly, and I will set up a private showing for you. And
I mean, that's the thing, right? It's just a lot, so there's no
Yeah.
showing. I mean, mostly from the Zillow ad, people just go out there and they just check it out they just drive there, they park next to it, and they probably just either you walk the lot, or you can just see from down itself.
right,
I mean, you can see the slope, and then you can see all the other houses that are built on similar slopes.
right.
So you have to add like another 100 or plus, I think 100, 150. I think because of the slope, you have to factor that in.
Right, 100%. All right. Well, with your permission, I'll talk about it, and then we'll just see if we can get anyone interested and see what can happen.
I don't know. I mean, if you can just target, these tech people, because I don't want, a whole bunch of people just going out there. Then, I don't know if there'll be some backlash on me by the neighbors saying why there's. I mean, I don't know how many people. Maybe nobody. Maybe just a couple of them will be there. What do you think? A lot of people will just go.
No, because
trying to eyeball that place.
Well, I wouldn't give out the address. I would make them contact me first to see what they're looking for, because then I can vet them and make sure that they're real and not just some tire kickers or some people like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you just don't want just people just looking who are not really interested, but just who are just passing by and just decide to go there and park there, and then I'll probably get a call from the neighbors. It's a very quiet. It's like a country club place.
Oh yeah, Orinda's a great area.
Yeah, sure. Then in that case you can. And I mean, if you're a realtor, so I think I put in the Zillow ad, it's a 3% commission if it's your direct customer.
Okay.
So I don't have a seller's agent.
Perfect. Well, you know what? Let me put my working gloves on and see what we can do together.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I bought that. I was living right there in Walnut Creek when I was going to build. That was like over 15 years ago. But now I'm in this Sacramento area.
Okay.
So I mean, the only reason is if my kid goes to UC Berkeley, then maybe I'll think about. She's still in high school, but that's the reason why I just don't want to. Just kind of. If I get a good price, then I can sell it right away.
Okay. That sounds fair. The same way I would go about it if I was you as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Vinny. Have a good day, man.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, a lot of people, I mean, Justin, how would you have, what's your take on the way that I handled that call?
I like how he was very resistant at first, and I like that. He was just kind of no. And then you got into rapport. I wanted to actually break this down anyway, so thank you for asking.
Oh, shoot. I got to go, dude.
Okay.
I got my podcast like right now. But hey.
All right, well, great. Like I said at the beginning of today's broadcast, if you have any questions I didn't get answered, Greg has made himself available online. Look him up on Facebook, Greg McDaniel, singular, and DM him, and he'll get a lot of these questions that didn't get asked and answered. So, things happen, and we got a lot of things to dive into for the next call. So, Greg, thanks so much for spending time with us. Everybody else, hope you learned a couple of things. Greg, if you have to jump off, I can handle this and wrap things up from here. So, thank you so much. And
you're welcome, brother. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everyone. So there was one really big question I thought didn't get answered, and I'd like to take a stab at it right now. I'm pretty sure if Greg was here with us, he would say the same thing I'm saying, which goes back to earlier in the conversation. The question came from Connie, and it was, wow, a lot of wrong numbers. That's rather disappointing. Is that normal? And I think if we look at the basis of what we talked about before, to some degree, yeah, it is going to be normal, depending on the time of day and also depending on the season that you're dialing in. And so I think when Greg talked about the consistency of the numbers in the market, right, That's all a factor of what's expiring at what times. And so like vintages, like wine, you know, you're going to have seasons and time periods where batches of leads expire, and sometimes the numbers associated with those are going to be not as popular or active as ones, let's say, tomorrow or the next week. So the time frame element we talked about before that I was trying to get into about, if you look at prospecting on a day-to-day basis, you know, you're probably going to get frustrated and give up and only have one slice of insight possible. And so there's a reason why Greg, prospecting for 20 years, has made, as he said, 450,000 calls. He didn't stop because he got a couple of wrong numbers on one day. He realized that it's a long-term game, and that when you play it every single day, sure, you're going to have a day like today where the majority of the numbers aren't fantastic and you're going to get a lot of wrong ones. But, you know, like he said before, he had a bad day, and then the next day he got on the phone again and said, I'm going to do it. And then he got that $1 million listing. And so that's the best way I could answer it from my point of view. I know if Greg was here, he could dive into personal, more specific stories, but I thought it was really important to take the time right now to answer that one, because as far as demonstrating what prospecting is about, I think today was actually a really good day as far as what are the expectations that you should have when you go into this. So if you think every call and every session is going to be fantastic, what you saw today was actually, as Greg said, this is the ugly part of what it takes. But the reality is it's just persistence. And some days you're going to have wins, and some days you're just going to feel like you put energy in and you didn't get what you wanted back out. And so all I ask, and I think Greg would ask of you, is to, when you go into prospecting, know that it's a commitment like you would a gym. You can't just go once and expect to walk out, like he said, skinny and fabulous and handsome, as he mentioned before. So that was the last question I really wanted to get into. For all your other questions, please go look up Greg on Facebook and type in gregmcdaniel.com. Instant message him. He's on there all the time. He's got another podcast show he's doing right now, Real Estate Uncensored. It's a great show. If you haven't heard or seen it, you should also check it out as well. And if you want to know the scripts and links and resources that we were trying to mention in the show today, look at the show notes. We got Andrew, who's on the team here, and Haley have worked to put together a collection of things that you can use, both what you learned from Greg, as well as things we've taken and learned and researched from other prospectors. So I want to thank you for taking the time today out of your day to learn a little bit more about prospecting, expireds, dialers, and making an effort to really improve your life and business. I'm Justin Zimmerman. I'm here with REDX. I'm on the marketing and content team. Look forward again to bringing you another interesting opportunity to look at how you can make persistent, consistent money prospecting and with REDX. Thank you very much.